Alright, this one's just going to be a little quick dive into something that might potentially be broken within the game or worded incorrectly. But I'm going to touch on it and just explain to people as an educational standpoint to not get these armors and don't use them because they are redundant and don't actually work. So that is in reference to the quests anti-miasma protective gear, anti-cold protective gear, and anti-heat protective gear. Now, each of them say the yellow turbans of the swamp region, da 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 da, resist the miasma so that you won't be bothered by miasma. So you get the armor, you get a lot of XP, you get a bit of coins for doing the quest, so it's not a bad quest to do. But currently it's bugged, and I'll explain that in a second. And the same then goes for the anti-cold, so that you won't try getting a set of fur protective gear so that you won't be bothered by the cold. The heat protective gear, same thing. Try getting a set of tough robbers gear so that you won't be bothered by the heat. Now, I've gone to the heat regions and it only gives slight protection. It changes the stats on the heat resistance, the cold resistance, and miasma resistance. Instead of it being 18, 18, 14 like you can see here, it might be, if it was the heat resistance one, it might be 24 instead of 18. So a value does change, but essentially when you go to those regions in a full set of gear, mind you, not just a half set, not just one piece, when you go in there with a full set of gear, go to those hot regions, and you still take heat damage. Now, there's something definitely wrong with that. Yeah, it definitely should work as intended, but it doesn't. So that's something that maybe you should avoid or look into carefully, because when you do unlock them in the talent tree, from what I have been told, now again, I don't know if this has been fixed, if you use the Oblivion Potion, or whatever it's called, Oblivious Potion, you don't lose these. So if it requires 2 recipe points, 2 recipe points, 2 recipe points for each single one, so this is, let's just call it, oh, here you go, it's 3, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. So I used 11 recipe points, and if I use an Oblivion Potion, I will not be able to get those points back. So yeah, it's great for the quest, it's good, no worries. But the problem is, you can't get these points back when you reset. And since they're redundant, like, yeah, it's cool, you got lots of different cool armor sets, they've got great skins on them all, which is nice. I like that concept that they've all got cool different skins. Awesome, great. But the fact that they don't do their job as intended, um, it's a bit poor. I would say maybe they need to look into it. Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the armor and the protection and the perks go. I mean the the missions, because yeah, you gain all of the stuff and they don't work. Yeah, that's a detailed description of protective gear.